Okay, very good afternoon. Who is there? Very good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sanket Charkha this side from Sinhagad Institutes, Savitribai Phule Pune University. In my last lecture, I have started with the concept of utility and demand analysis, and we have understood we were seeing what is mean by demand and what is the concept of elasticity. We have started, or we have also understood what is the law of demand with respect to Alfred Marshall, the definition given, or the law conceptual that has been given. What are the various factors that have been associated with respect to demand, and we have also seen the law of demand with respect to the curve that analysis that is into existence. Then we have understood about what the various different types of elasticity of demand, that is price elasticity, income elasticity, cross elasticity, and elasticity with respect to advertisement and promotion. In my last lecture, I have covered about the concept of price elasticity, the determinants of price elasticity, which is called as an either perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, unitary elastic, elastic, and inelastic demand, wherein it is either equal to infinity, it is equal to 0, it is equal to 1, it is less than 1, or it is greater than 1. Then determinants of price elasticity, and we have also seen that is the current slide, that is measurements of price elasticity of demand with respect to 5 types, that is total outlay method, proportionate method, point method or geometric method, arc method, and lastly revenue calculus method. Now, income elasticity of demand. So based on your income level also, your demand for a particular product also keeps on changing or also keeps on decreasing or either increasing. So high income demand, unitary income demand, low income demand, zero income demand, or negative income demand. So everyone, that is based on the terms or the name itself, you can identify or you can understand what is mean by direct relation of demand, that product is demanded, and how there is a different how the impact of income can be created over the purchase of that particular product. High income demand. So if the income of that particular consumer or if the income of that particular people is much higher, then accordingly that particular category of product will only be demanded. A particular person having an income of rupees 5 lakh may not demand a certain product which is costing rupees 1 crore or rupees 50 crore and so on. So based on your income level, a particular person having the income level of rupees 50 lakhs and 1 crore and 2 crore, accordingly he will be demanding those products which are affordable to his particular range. So in this way, the income elasticity of demand is specifically is of a specific concern, wherein the demand for a particular product depends or changes as per the income level of an individual, as per the standard of living of a particular individual. So if the income level increases, accordingly the product demanded or the quantity demanded increases, and the price of that particular product also differs from one person to another person. Now, for example, if the income level, so standard of now, if your income level is rupees 5 lakh and you are earning this for a period of rupees for a count of 10 years, then accordingly what you will do, you will purchase a car which is in your range of rupees 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs only. If your income level increases to rupees 20 lakh or rupees 30 lakhs, then accordingly what you will do, your income level, if it has been increasing, then your purchase of car will also change according to that category. So you will go to purchase a car costing rupees 10 lakh or costing rupees 15 lakh and so on. So in this case, high income product is based on the changes in the income of an individual, the income elasticity is getting deferred, and accordingly high qualitative or high income products have been demanded. Unitary income demand, if your income is stable over a period of time, then accordingly only those products or only those commodity will be demanded in which the demand for that particular product is same and the price of that particular product is also same. So that is, for example, for next 5 years or next 10 years, if your income remains same, that is you are earning same amount of salary, that is every month you are earning either 25,000, or if you are earning rupees 3 lakhs for a particular year, then at this stage what happens, it is called as a concept of a unitary income, wherein your income is not changing over a period of time, and the quantity demanded, the price of that particular product that you are purchasing for, it also remains change whether whatever changes are there or happening into this particular market. Low income demand. Now, if from a particular position or a certain concern, if the income either decreases, so from a higher income, if the income has been decreasing, that is earlier income was rupees 5 lakh, and now your income has reduced to rupees 2 lakhs, that is you lose a particular job and accordingly your income is been reduced. So what happened, based on the low level of that particular income, you start purchasing the product which is of a lower category, which is of a lower price concern, and accordingly the elasticity for that particular product or that particular demand gets decreased. Zero income demand. Zero income demand is a particular concern, that is for a very long period, for a very lifelong period, that is either 10 years or 20 years, there is no change in your income, that is it remains zero only. So whatever changes are there into the market, whether there is an inflation, whether there is a deflation, whether the price of the product is changing, whether the quantity demand that has been changing, there is no effect on your income level. Then accordingly, what will be the demand for that particular product? It remains same and it does not change whatever may be the changes. That is whether the number of that is if in case of your income, that is if your income is rupees 3 lakhs for next 10 years, then the quantity demanded for that particular product will also be zero only. That is in case, that is if for every month you are purchasing 5 kg of sugar or 10 kg of sugar, then for around next 10 years you will be purchasing the same quantity of sugar and there will be no change in the quantity of sugar that you are purchasing. Another concern, if the income increases, so if your income is increasing, what you will do, you are based on your increase in income, accordingly you will start purchasing excessive product or excessive quantity of the product that has been demanded. So if the standard quantity that is demanded is rupees 5 kg, then according, and if your income increases, then what you will do, you will purchase 6 kg, 7 kg, 8 kg, 10 kgs of sugar. If your income reduces, then accordingly from 5 kg you will come to 4 kg, 3.5 kg and so on. But in case of zero income, if the standardized quantity demanded is 5 kg, then accordingly over a period of time you will be purchasing 5 kg of goods only. Negative income demand. So if your income goes below the level of standardization, that is if the standard level, now based on your per capita income, based on the standard of living of a particular individual, it has been identified that a particular individual must consume only 150 calories or 150 amount is been required for a spending pattern for a particular individual. So if the income level goes below the category that is been specified by that particular government, now government standardized rate, that is per capita income of a particular individual, is rupees 150 per day per person, a particular person has to consume. Now if it goes below 150, that is it becomes 140, 130 or 100 or 80 or 90, then accordingly we can say that a negative income elasticity is into existence, and based on those perception, based on those consideration, the academic consideration with respect to the negative income elasticity of the demand can be identified. Now, moving with the third perspective, that is cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand relates with the specific product category that you are looking for. So, always it is happening between goods only. So, cross elasticity, that is if you are looking or calculating or valuing a product demand for a certain product or a certain category, it changes, or the cross elasticity can be created between different types of products or different types of goods or commodity that are into existence. First thing is the substitute goods. So whatever substitute goods are available into this particular market, now if those particular substitute goods are affordable for you, and then based on those concerns, you change your demand for that particular product as and when it has been required or as and when it has been needed. Now substitute, you go to a particular shop and you want to purchase a certain t-shirt. Now whenever you're going to purchase a t-shirt for that particular shop and you have specifically mentioned a particular brand, now if that particular brand of that particular product is not available, then what do? You start searching for different products or different brands or different commodities. So along with this particular concern, what happened? If the substitute is available for that particular product, then accordingly a cross elasticity can be created. So the elasticity of demand, that is the quantity demanded of a specific product, that is a specific brand, may get switched from one product to another product or one brand to another brand. So in this case, for a single product that you are identifying, for a single product that you are purchasing, for calculating the demand elasticity, it gets switched from one product to another product based on the cross availability of substitution effect that is into existence. Complementary goods. Now complementary goods are those particular goods which are applicable or which are available along with a certain product or along with a particular quantity or a certain commodity that you are purchasing. Now complementary goods. Now complementary goods is a particular concern wherein a particular product may be charged or it may be not be charged as and when the need arises. Now cross elasticity, how it can be created. Now when you go to purchase a cell phone or whenever you go to purchase a mobile phone, then accordingly at this stage what we are looking for, along with the mobile phone, we are getting an complementary goods called as a charger. The company provides itself, but a certain external Bluetooth device, that is a hearing aid device, or a certain cover for that particular mobile or a certain case, the company does not provide you for this particular concern, and you have to pay additionally or you have to pay extra charges for those particular product. So in this case, a particular product which has been available along with the major commodity or along with the primary commodity can be either applicable, can be affordable, and a particular product which is not applicable or not available along with the primary product, then that particular product is called as an, and that particular identification or classification can be called as an cross elasticity of demand. Yes, any question? Someone was asking, I think. Hello? No. Okay. Third concept, third cross elasticity of demand is the concept of independent goods. Now, independent goods are those type of goods which is not dependent on any of the factors of production, and it is a concept of an basic essential need or basic essential requirement. So, whether there is an increase in price, whether there is a decrease in price, whether the quantity demanded either increases or decreases, there is no effect or there is no impact on the commodity that you are looking for, and accordingly, the independent goods are of a certain nature wherein the goods will be required, the goods will be demanded, whatever conditions are changing into this particular market. Now, take an example. Whenever you are looking for celebrating a particular function, now, whenever there is a particular function at our home, what do? What do we do? We make a certain projection. That is how many guests are expected to come. Now, based on the expectation, what do? We place a certain order. Now, if the guests expected are like are around for rupees are around, for example, 250, then accordingly what do? We place an order of for a catering person that for rupees for 200 quantity or maximum of 250 quantity. So here at this stage, whatever may be the changes, whether the nature is changing, whether the situations are changing, whether the condition is changing, whether people are ready to come or whether people are not ready to come, whether someone will be reporting, whether someone will not be reporting, whether the quantity may increase or decrease, what do we have to do? We have to make a payment, we have to make a manufacturing, we have to make a supply of certain commodity, and it is completely independent on the conditions that is there into existence. So independency is a particular type of commodity or certain type of goods wherein there is no association, there is no elasticity with respect to the demand of a price or the commodity that has been associated. So whatever factors have been changing, whether the factors of the company, that is either internal environment or the external environment, it has been changing, there is no impact on the quantity demand that has been there into existence. So once a particular commodity is being demanded, once a particular commodity is been order or a order is being placed, the same quantity of goods will be demanded over a period of time, and accordingly it will not change whatever may be the situations. Now, next major concern we are looking to for is the uses of elasticity of demand. So what is the benefit, what is the use, due to which why we are studying the concept of elasticity of demand. So why do we need to study or why do we understand the concept of elasticity of demand? So let's take into consideration one by one a single point. First thing, determination of price policy. So determination of price policy is a particular concern wherein at this stage with the help of elasticity of demand, we can easily identify what are the changes in the prices that are being taken into consideration, whether the price of the commodity is either increasing or whether the price of the commodity has been decreasing or whether the price is at a stable stage. So with the help of the elasticity of demand, we can identify what are the changes in the pricing policy of a particular company. So pricing policy with respect to a particular single category or single product. Now earlier now here at this stage with the help of elasticity, we can identify whether the price is that is the elasticity is greater than 1, equal to 1, less than 1, equal to 0, less greater than 0, and so on. So determination of pricing policy. Earlier we can earlier in the standardized rate we were knowing that the price of the product is rupees 50, but now later at lateral stage what we have identified that the price is been decreasing. So the price was 50, it became to 40, then became 30, then became 20, then became 10. Or a situation, reverse situation, earlier the price was rupees 50, now it became 52, now became 60, now became 70, and so on. So in this case, the elasticity of demand is helping you to identify what are the changes in the pricing policy, whether the price of the particular product is increasing or whether the price of the product is been decreasing. So determination of pricing policy is also applicable, it is also quite beneficial in terms of elasticity of demand that can be applied. Price discrimination, now discrimination of a particular price with respect to the competitor's price that has been ruling into this particular market. So what are the changes in the pricing policy with respect to your company and the competitor's policy? So a proper combination or proper identification with respect to the discrimination in the prices can also be identified in terms of the market demand. So whether you're looking for an individual demand schedule or a market demand schedule, you can be easily identify, you can come to a certain conclusion about what are the changes in the prices of that particular product. Price discrimination now, for example, if your product is offered for rupees 20, then at this stage you can identify about what is the competitor's price. So if the competitor may offer that particular product at rupees 18, or the competitor may offer that particular product at rupees 22. So in this case, whether there is a discrimination in the pricing policy or not. So depending on different market, a particular product offered at rupees 20 in a particular market and the same product is offered at rupees 15 in some another market or some another location. So we can say that there is discrimination in the price of that particular product or a certain commodity. Now take a local example, a particular product that you are purchasing in a particular local area, that may be applicable at a certain specific rate, and if you go to a certain remote area, then it may be applicable at a certain different rate. A particular product you are purchasing in Pune, the costing may be different. A particular product you are purchasing in Delhi, the costing of that particular product may be different. And a particular product you are purchasing in Dubai, the costing may be different. Or a particular product that you are purchasing in US, that is United States, the price of that particular product may be different. So same quantity, same quality, same company, but there is a difference in prices. Along with the prices of a single product or a single commodity manufactured by a single person, there is discrimination with respect to the competitors also. Same product, same quality, same features. A particular manufacturer may sell it at rupees 500, and another manufacturer may sell it at rupees 450 or 550. So in this case, the discrimination on the pricing policy can also be identified by the concept of elasticity of demand. Shifting of tax burden. So it is always the elasticity of demand is focusing on a certain concept wherein the tax burden is shifted from one person to another person. So ultimately the retail, the consumer, that is the particular customer who is purchasing that particular product, the tax burden is ultimately shifted to him, and there is no burden of tax in terms of manufacturer, wholesaler, dealer, and retailer. So always the elasticity of demand is focusing on different perspective, that is, as the product changes, as the quantity demanded changes, accordingly the tax burden also reduces, or accordingly the tax burden also changes. If you are looking for a particular product which is of a lower pricing, then accordingly you have to pay less taxes. If you are looking for a particular product which is of a higher costing, that is costing rupees 40 lakh, 50 lakh, 1 crore and so on, then accordingly the tax burden on your product or your commodity on your pocket also increases. So always there is a shift from tax burden. So your tax burden may either increase or your tax burden may either decrease, depending on what quantity or quality of product that you are purchasing. Depending on what the pricing of that particular product you are purchasing, your tax burden is either increased or tax burden is either decreased. Taxation and subsidy policy. So based on the elasticity of demand, we can identify about what tax is being generated. So earlier, from the third point, we have identified that is how the tax is being identified, and from the fourth perspective, we can identify what amount of tax is being charged and what provision is being made by the government for provision of those taxes. So whether a benefit is being generated, or benefit is being given for the manufacturers, benefit is given to the retailers, or benefit is given to the customer. So in terms of GST, what we are looking for, that maximum at every stage, every individual has to pay his own proportion of taxes, and always it is having a subsiding or a cascading effect has been reduced. But in case of the earlier or the old taxation policy, there was a cascading effect, that is everyone was paying a double taxation effect, and accordingly the tax was paid at a larger scale. So in this case, the government at this stage we can identify about what subsidies for different sectors is being provided, and how each and every sector or a particular industry or a particular company or a organization is getting benefited out of it. International trade linkages. So international trade linkage can be identified with the help of elasticity of demand with respect to availability of your product at a different market. Now, whenever we are trying to sell or purchase a certain product, we do not look for a certain specific category or a certain commodity at only one single location. We keep on changing our market, we keep on changing our traders and retailers, and accordingly we keep on asking for different options that are there into existence. So based on that particular options, what we are looking for a local market, we are looking for the domestic market, that is national market, and we are looking for an international market also. The same product, that is a particular sweater. A particular sweater that you want to purchase in local market, it may be available for rupees 500. In the national market, it may be available for rupees 1000. But at the international level, if you go to US, if you fly to Europe, or if you fly to Germany, the same sweater can be available for rupees 3000. So international trade linkages. So a same product having a different prices policy, and accordingly the quantity demanded is also different. So how a correlation between a single product can be identified, and the single manufacturer, trader, wholesaler, retailer, every link of the particular trade can be identified with the help of elasticity of demand that is into existence. Factor pricing. The concept of factor pricing specifically focuses on the pricing of factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, enterprise, and resources. So whatever factors of production that have been employed for manufacturing or producing a particular goods or a certain commodity, based on those concerns, we have to identify what are the various factors that can be employed, that can be applicable, and what rate of product can be charged accordingly. So factor pricing specifically focuses on a particular concern about what factors of production are to be employed, what are the various rates that have been prevailing, and how optimum or maximum utilization of all the resources or the factors of production can be made over a period of time. So whatever may be the level of manufacturing, whether the level of manufacturing is either increasing or decreasing, whether the quantity demanded is either increasing or decreasing, we have to see that all the factors of production are employed in an effective way, and they are being consumed as and when it is been required. Joint supply pricing. So joint supply pricing specifically focuses on a concept of availability of raw material into that particular market. So availability of raw material, availability of components, availability of goods into that particular market, specifically deals with about what is the concept of joint supply pricing. So along with a certain product, you need a certain substitute, you need a certain alternative, you need a certain complementary goods wherein one product is always dependent on some another product. So whenever you purchase a water bottle, along with the water bottle, what do you need? You need a cap that has to be associated with that particular bottle. So a joint supply pricing is that particular concept wherein the elasticity of demand can be created, wherein a single product that has been purchased is always associated with a certain different product that has been created over a period of time. Use of machines and employment. So what type of machine, what type of technology, what type of employment opportunities have been created? That is, whether you are using skilled labor, unskilled labor, and if you are using unskilled labor, then whether implementation of machines, implementation of concerns with respect to the employment opportunities have been created or not. So if the product is of a certain concern wherein skilled labor have been required, then if the skilled labor is been applied, then what amount of machinery that you are using, whether a technological advancement is taken into consideration, whether you're looking for a particular product which has been there into existence of a higher technology, robotic mechanism is been there in existence, and maximum amount of product are being manufactured over a period of time. Public utilities specifically question what benefit is been derived for a particular product or for a particular commodity over a period of time. So whatever product that you are manufacturing, whatever product that you are looking for, or whatever product that you are purchasing, it must always create a utility for a certain product. So always a certain utility must be generated, or always a certain benefit must be arised from that particular product, and a particular consumer must get happy and satisfied whenever he is using that particular product or that particular commodity. So in this case, public utilities is of a certain concern wherein whatever product that you are offering for, whatever product that you are demanding, or whatever demand is being created in that particular market, there must be a benefit for a public at large, and always maximum number of people must get benefited out of those products that you are offering. So that is the concept of public utility. And lastly, output, balance, and decision. So always there must be a balance between the output that you are creating and the decision that you're taking for the organization or for that particular business. So output balance in the sense that is what amount of quantity has to be manufactured or what amount of quantity has to be supplied for. So based on the consideration of the demand, elasticity of demand, we can easily identify, or we can easily calculate about whether the demand is unitary elastic, perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, greater than 1, less than 1, equal to 1, and so on. So if the particular demand is greater than 1, then accordingly more amount of quantity has to be manufactured, more amount of quantity has to be applied, and accordingly the utility activity has to be undertaken, and the balance between the output and decision orientation can be undertaken by the manufacturer, supplier, wholesaler, dealer, and retailer. Okay, any difficulty at this stage? Anyone would like to ask any questions? You can please unmute yourself and ask me. Or you can drop the questions in the chat box before we start with the next topic. Elasticity of demand we are concluding, and we have seen about the various uses of elasticity of demand. Now moving with the next topic, the last few slides or a few concepts, that is demand forecasting. So definition given by the American Marketing Association, that is DF, that is the demand forecasting is an estimate of sales in rupees or a currency in physical units for a specified future period under a proposed marketing plan. So demand forecasting by the Marketing Association is of a certain concern wherein you have to always identify, you have to always estimate, you have to always forecast about what amount of quantity product will be demanded over a period of time in a specific future plan. So whenever you are preparing a marketing plan, now the definition it is being provided by AMA, and the definition of the AMA specifically focuses on the concept of marketing. So a marketing plan must also be of a certain nature wherein at every stage you have to identify that is what amount of quantity can be demanded and in what physical quantity the amount must be made available. So forecasting, that is looking into future about what will be need, what will be requirement, and accordingly looking for those perceptions about the availability of the product over a period of time. Criteria for good demand forecasting. So what are the various criteria which should be considered whenever you are forecasting a demand for a particular product or doing forecasting in general? First thing, always the concept of simplicity. Always the forecasting plan, that is the plan that you are making for, must always be very simple and must be understandable to each and every person or each and every participant or the component. So whatever demand that you are, whatever forecasting that you are making for, whether the forecasting is in terms of quantity, quality, price, commodity, services or goods, and various factors of production, always the forecasting must be very simple and must be understandable to each and every participant or each and every component. So at this stage, the forecasting that you are making for, it must be always very simple, calculative, and so on. So whatever terms, whatever terminology that you are using in this particular concern, it must be always very simply defined. It must always be very simply created. Economical, always the concept of economical is a particular concept wherein it must be affordable to the organization. So whatever plan that you are making for, whether the company is making for plan of extension, whether the company is making the plan for increasing manufacturing quality, manufacturing quantity, proportion, and so on, always that particular thing must be affordable to the consumer and must be affordable to the economy also. So if you are trying to implement us, or if you are trying to bring new product into the market, then that particular new product must be affordable to the consumer and it must be manufacturable in terms of the manufacturer also. So availability of raw material. So economical in the sense that is, if a particular product is to be manufactured and if the costing of raw material is much higher or much better, then accordingly you will not be able to purchase those quantity or you will not be able to manufacture those products. So at that stage also we have to identify that whatever raw material that you are trying to procure, whatever factors of production that you are looking for, whether it is land, labor, capital, enterprise, and resources, everything must be made affordable to the consumers, and accordingly, based on those affordability only, the product must be started with respect to manufacturing as a particular concern. Availability at every stage, whenever we are forecasting for availability of that particular product, it must be available at all locations and at all origins. So availability with respect to the availability in all the market, whether the market is a local market, domestic market, international market, or the global market, your product must be available at all the stages, at all the levels, and each and every consumer who is looking or who is willing to purchase your product, the product must be available for all the people. Availability in terms of quantity. So whether the quantity may either increase or whether the quantity may decrease. That is, a consumer today may demand for around 10 quantity, and tomorrow he may suddenly demand for 12 or 15 quantity, or a certain family or a certain community or a certain society may demand for around 1000 quantities. So if a particular demand is if a particular product is demanded in a low in a maximum or a greater quantity, then at this stage the product must be available at all the level, at all the stages, and accordingly it must be created at a certain position wherein it is available in all the market. Now, certain products are available in a specific market only. So that must not be a certain situation wherein a particular product, if you are offering a generalized product, then that particular product must be applicable or must be available in perfect market, imperfect market, monopolistic market, duopoly market, oligopoly market, and so on. So availability of product 24/7 is also of essential importance, and only from those perspectives the forecasting activity must be undertaken. Durability. So as per the condition, that is now in terms of sale of goods act, we have seen what is the concept of condition and what is the concept of warranty. Now whenever there is a perception of warranty into existence, then that particular product must be of a durable nature. So if a particular product is of a durable nature, then accordingly that particular product must be remaining stable for that particular specific period or point of time. So if the product is identified as a warranty period for rupees, for example for 2 years, then that particular product must be durable for 2 years and it must not get deteriorated, it must not get destroyed within a period of 1 year itself or within a period of 2 years itself. So in this case, if a particular customer has purchased a durable or non-durable product, then accordingly it must, the benefit must be derived or must be created to that consumer, and accordingly the durability must be also satisfied level. Accuracy. The accuracy means with the concept of the willingness to purchase that has been provided and the benefit that has been derived to that particular consumer. So if a particular consumer is purchasing a product with a certain motive, with a certain perception, or with a certain intention, then that particular level of accuracy, then that particular level of intention must be provided, and accordingly it must be able to satisfy the consumer need that has been arised. So if there is certain desire, if there is certain willingness for purchasing that particular product, that particular desire, that particular need must be fulfilled by that particular product, and accordingly the accuracy level must be achieved. So what is the satisfaction that has been created, that has been generated by that particular product? That is a particular consumer. If the consumer has purchased water bottle for satisfaction of his thirst, then accordingly the thirst must be fulfilled, the thirst must be satisfied, and only then we can say that there is an accuracy with respect to the product that you have purchased, that is a mineral water that you have purchased. Flexibility, that is different, a single product having a different benefit that can be generated. So always what a consumer is looking for, whenever a particular consumer is purchasing a particular product, he is always looking for a flexibility in that particular product or in that particular commodity that he's been purchasing for. So a particular product, if a particular product is been purchased for a maximum number of alterations or maximum number of purposes, then accordingly there must be a flexibility associated with that particular product also. If the market condition changes, that is today there may be a demand for that for a particular product, tomorrow the demand may decrease. So accordingly, if the demand is decreasing, then accordingly what do we have to see? We have to again change or alter the prices that has been associated. If the price of the product has been increasing and if the demand for the product has been also decreasing, then accordingly what action has to be taken, what measures has to be taken, and in what way we can balance all the situations that can be arise over a period of time. So balancing all the situations, balancing all the pros and cons into that particular market, there must be a flexibility in terms of your product, there must be flexibility in terms of the market situations, and the flexibility in terms of quantity that has been demanded over a period of time. And lastly, the data. So always you must have a proper data with respect to the product that you are looking for, and a proper communication coordination between all the organizations can be also has to be there into existence. So you have to maintain a proper data with respect to who are your consumers, what is their need, what is their requirement, what are the changes in the product that has been undertaken. Accordingly, the data must be satisfied and the data must be fulfilled. Proper preservation of data. Now the data with respect to your calculations, that is whether you have done a point method, arc method, geometric method, total calculus method, and so on. So how you have calculated that particular information, how you have calculated that particular calculation was been done with respect to the elasticity of demand. Everything calculation must be made available with you, and accordingly the calculation can be done for a specific period or a specific product that you are looking for. Data with respect to your customers, with respect to your competitors, with respect to the product, with respect to the changes in the market trend, changes in the government policies, every data must be made very applicable, and accordingly all things must be preserved, and only then your forecasting active can be very effective or it can be very successful. So in order to your forecasting activity to be very effective, very successful, we have to take into consideration the various criteria for a good forecasting activity.